Welcome to Discover Top 5, the channel where we bring you the most jaw-dropping, eye-opening, and mind-blowing lists from around the world. Whether you're into the biggest trends, the most shocking facts, or the most controversial topics, we've got you covered. Each video is packed with fascinating insights and the top 5 things you need to know, ensuring you stay informed and entertained at the same time. We dive deep into everything from the world's most incredible places to untold stories that will leave you speechless. If you're someone who loves exploring the most surprising facts, discovering the unknown, and learning about the things that really matter, then you're in the right place. At Discover Top 5, we don't just skim the surface, we go straight to the heart of the matter and give you the inside scoop on what's happening all around the globe. So, get ready to join us on an exciting journey through the world's most fascinating facts, top lists, and hidden gems. If you're ready to uncover the most shocking, bizarre, and awe-inspiring details, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our next incredible list. Now, sit back, relax, and let's jump right into today's top 5.
In recent years, Bulgaria, once known for its breathtaking landscapes and rich history, has quietly become one of Europe's toughest enforcers of immigration policies. While the country's beautiful scenery attracts tourists, the government's stance on immigration has become increasingly hostile. In 2024, Bulgaria deported over 50,000 migrants, making it one of the most aggressive enforcers of deportation policies in Europe. The country has particularly cracked down on migrants attempting to cross from Turkey, pushing back over 52,000 individuals in a single year. These deportations are not always voluntary, with reports of migrants being subjected to brutal treatment, forced removals, and expulsions without due process. International human rights organizations have raised alarms about these tactics, accusing Bulgaria of violating migrants' rights. Yet, the Bulgarian government maintains that it is simply protecting its borders. The refugee camps in Bulgaria are overcrowded, and legal pathways for residency are almost non-existent. Despite being one of the poorest countries in the EU, Bulgaria remains firm in its tough stance, prioritizing deportations over integrating migrants into society. This approach leaves many migrants trapped in a vicious cycle of being turned away, forced to flee, and sent back, often with no place to go. Moving west to France, the country known for its cultural diversity and iconic landmarks, France's reputation as a haven for migrants has been rapidly changing. In 2024, the French government ramped up deportations, issuing over 30,000 removal orders within just 3 months. The government claims these actions are part of an effort to combat illegal immigration and address growing security concerns. However, critics argue that these moves are politically motivated, aimed at appeasing the rising nationalist sentiments within the country. France has implemented aggressive tactics, including dawn raids, mass detentions, and deportation flights, all targeting those without legal status. Even migrants with pending asylum applications or who have lived in France for years, paying taxes and contributing to the economy, are being deported. Cities like Paris, Marseille, and Lyon have seen mass removals, and the impact is being felt across immigrant communities. Families are being separated, and businesses are losing workers, while some individuals, who thought they had secured their place in France, now face the uncertainty of deportation due to stricter residency laws. Human rights organizations have raised concerns, but the French government has shown no sign of backing down. These increasingly harsh policies suggest that France's future immigration landscape may only become more hostile in the coming years.
Germany, once considered a safe haven for refugees and skilled workers, has seen a dramatic shift in its immigration policies. While the country was praised for its humanitarian response to the refugee crisis in the mid-2010s, 2024 marked a turning point as Germany became one of the toughest countries in Europe when it comes to deportations. In just 3 months of 2024, Germany ordered over 13,600 people to leave the country. The government has intensified deportations, targeting failed asylum seekers, undocumented workers, and even long-term residents with minor legal infractions. This shift has surprised many, as Germany had long been seen as a land of opportunity for immigrants. One of the most controversial methods used by the German government is the use of chartered flights for deportations. Entire planes filled with deported individuals are sent back to countries they haven't seen in years, often with only a few days' notice. This has caused deep emotional distress, especially when families are torn apart. Regional governments have also been competing to show how aggressive they can be in enforcing deportations. Cities that once prided themselves on being multicultural are now seeing mass removals, which have sparked protests and legal challenges. Germany's tough stance on immigration has shaken communities and left many uncertain about their future. For those who believed Germany was a safe place to build a life, these recent developments have been nothing short of devastating. Spain, historically seen as a welcoming country for immigrants, especially those from Latin America and North Africa, is now following a similar trend to its European neighbours. Under pressure from rising anti-immigration sentiment, Spain has drastically changed its approach to migration. In the first 3 months of 2024 alone, Spain issued over 13,600 removal orders and deported more than 3,100 people. The government has ramped up border security and conducted mass deportations in major cities such as Madrid and Barcelona. Even long-term residents who have been living in Spain for years are now finding themselves at risk of deportation for minor infractions. One of the most concerning aspects of Spain's crackdown is the practice of pushbacks at sea. Reports have emerged of Spain forcibly sending migrants back to North Africa without any legal process or opportunity for asylum claims. Human rights organizations have condemned these actions as a violation of international law, but the Spanish government continues to defend its policies. For many, Spain, which was once a land of hope and opportunity, is now a place of uncertainty and fear. Immigrants in Spain are constantly wondering if today will be the day they are sent back to their home countries.
Once a key entry point for migrants hoping to reach Europe, Greece has now become one of the most hostile countries for immigrants seeking refuge. In 2024, over 17,000 people were deported from Greece, a number that continues to rise. The country's approach to handling migration has become far more aggressive, with reports of mass deportations, border violence, and secret repatriation operations. Greek authorities have even been accused of abandoning migrants at sea, forcing them back to Turkish waters without any legal process. These actions have drawn widespread condemnation from international human rights groups, who argue that they are both inhumane and illegal. Inside the country, immigration raids have become routine in cities like Athens and Thessaloniki. Even those who have lived in Greece for years, contributing to the country's economy, are now finding themselves at risk of deportation. The Greek government defends its actions, claiming they are necessary for national security. However, the impact on immigrant communities is undeniable. Thousands are living in fear, uncertain of when they will be forced to leave. Poland, which was once seen as a transit country for migrants traveling through Europe, has become one of the strictest enforcers of immigration laws in the EU. In 2024, Poland deported over 35,000 people, a dramatic increase compared to previous years. The government has introduced fast-track deportation policies that make it nearly impossible for migrants to appeal or defend themselves. Decisions are being made in hours, not weeks, and entire families are being removed from the country in the middle of the night. Reports have emerged of immigration authorities storming apartments, detaining individuals, and putting them on planes the same day. Poland has also tightened its policies for legal residents, making it increasingly difficult for migrants to renew work permits or resident status. Even those who have lived in Poland for years are being forced out due to minor legal issues. The message from the government is clear: if you're not Polish, you're not staying. Hungary's stance on immigration has always been tough, but in 2025, the country introduced some of the most extreme deportation policies in Europe. Hungary's government has ramped up border patrols, mass deportations, and detentions, targeting not only illegal immigrants but also long-term residents who fail to meet new, stricter requirements. One of the most controversial policies is the pushback law, which allows border authorities to expel migrants without any legal process. Thousands have been forcibly removed, and there are reports of people being abandoned in remote areas along the border, left with no shelter or means of survival. Hungary also faces criticism for its detention centers, where migrants are held before being deported. The Hungarian government defends its actions, claiming they are necessary for national security. But critics argue that these measures violate human rights and international law. Latvia, often overlooked in discussions about European immigration policies, has quietly become one of the most aggressive countries when it comes to deportations. In 2025, Latvia began using more covert tactics to expel migrants, often using bureaucratic traps and policy loopholes to force people out. Work permits are being denied, residency applications are rejected, and entire families are being told they must leave, sometimes without any prior warning. Many of those affected aren't even illegal immigrants but long-term foreign residents who have lived in Latvia for years. These actions have caused significant distress in the migrant communities. as they often don't realize they're being pushed out until it's too late. Croatia, once a critical entry point on the Balkan route, has stepped up deportations in 2025. Migrants who were once able to travel through the country are now being forcibly expelled, often under brutal conditions. Reports indicate that people are being placed on buses and dropped off at the borders with no food or shelter, sometimes in the middle of the night. The Croatian government claims these measures are necessary to protect national security, but critics argue they violate international human rights laws. Many migrants report being subjected to violence and intimidation, and there are reports of people being abandoned in remote areas with no way to return. Finally, Denmark, once known for its progressive policies, has made a drastic shift in 2025, becoming one of the strictest countries in Europe when it comes to deportations. The government has ramped up its efforts to expel migrants, including those who have lived in the country for years. Denmark has implemented policies that revoke residency permits at record rates, even for refugees who were granted asylum years ago. The country has built deportation camps specifically for rejected asylum seekers, creating conditions so unbearable that people are forced to leave voluntarily. The government has also set unrealistic income and education requirements, making it harder for foreign workers and students to stay. Even families with Danish-born children are being torn apart, with some members forced to leave while others are allowed to stay.
Wow, that was incredible. I hope you enjoyed exploring today's top 5 with us. There's so much more to discover, and we're just getting started. If today's list blew your mind, imagine what we have coming up next. From shocking facts to unbelievable discoveries, there's always something new and exciting around the corner here on Discovered Top 5. But before you go, we want to hear from you. What was your favorite fact from today's video? Or maybe there's something you'd like us to cover in a future list. Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing your thoughts and suggestions. And, of course, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you'll be the first to know when our next top 5 video drops. You definitely don't want to miss what we've got planned for you next. Remember, here at Discovered Top 5, we're all about bringing you the most fascinating, mind-blowing, and entertaining lists from around the globe. So keep exploring with us, and let's keep this journey going. Thanks for watching. And until next time, stay curious and keep discovering the world's most amazing facts with us. Catch you in the next video.